Hello guys, it's sci-fi time, kinda, because actually it's a lot of sci-fi time, probably because, you know, the thing is, I have watched this film yesterday, because you know me, I make videos and then I schedule them somewhere around another series and whatever, and I got a different t-shirt, and I thought, yeah, some of the styles in the film that I watched yesterday, or any Star Trek films, have this sort of shirt. So I thought, yeah, maybe I can have this shirt for the day. And yeah, so obviously, I watched Star Trek 2, and I thought about it. It was really good. Better than the first one. The motion picture one was just so painful to watch. The actors are still in it again, and but a new one is from Cheers, and she is kind of boring as well. And the comedy is the same. I want to call it comedy because I hardly laughed in the film. Because I'm not sure if you know, but I like slapstick. One-liners, if they're really good or not. But I mean, like, yeah, I'm that sort of guy. But the other thing, like, yeah, I feel like the bad guy is really old-fashioned because I feel like we had this sort of topic before. Oh, you didn't tell the truth. I'll do something bad to you. And yeah, every bad guy does that. Well, not every bad guy, but I mean, if you've seen lots of films like me, you saw this sort of pattern before and stuff. But yeah, he wasn't the best evil villain, although he is actually, but he's not. So I think I'm in the zone of thinking, am I a Star Trek fan or am I not a Star Trek fan? Because I feel like this film is better than the first one, obviously. Like Jaws 2 is better than Jaws 1, and Jaws 3, meh. Jaws 4 doesn't count of the series because Jaws 4 is just. I personally think if I was talking about Jaws, and I am now, if I was talking about Jaws, out of 1 to 4, 4 is not even in the series. I know it is in the series, but I think it doesn't count because it just doesn't feel like a Jaws movie. It feels like, if you saw Jaws 4, you know what I'm on about, and other people agree on the internet and other sides of the world, they say, meh, Jaws 4 was rubbish. But yeah, so as again, the first one is rubbish, not really, but it kind of is. And the second one, it had a better plot to it, and that's all I'm gonna say with the plot and the actors. And I think apparently, I'm not sure how old he was, but it was his birthday apparently, Kirk. And in this film I watched yesterday, and you want to call it yesterday because you're probably watching another Saturday time, but I'm making this video on a Wednesday, on the 7th of September. So yeah, so anyway, yeah. So I watched it on the 6th, on Tuesday night and everything. So, but anyway, I was looking at the background and stuff, so one of the background stuff was also, when he was like talking to, to the doctor and everything, he says, "Wow, you got a pretty sight, with the mountains and the sea, it says, is that in 2030 or whatever that it was set in, in the future." It looks really good for its time, in the new future, because if there's a future nowadays, it'll be all barely nothing, because, well, back in the 80s and when they made the film, they didn't expect the future, obviously, because they're in the past and they don't know the future's gonna be different, the same, or whatever. But I'm just saying, yeah, you need to be extra cautious of what you're trying to do in the film, because usually in the film, this film, you don't know what I'm about. When he was talking to the doctor and said, "Oh yeah, I'm his friend. Oh, I am your friend," and had this whole discussion and stuff. Said, "Why are you so, could you just please, it's your birthday, just calm down, And Kirk said, "Yeah, well, well, whatever." But yeah, they had that sort of talk, and I was keep on thinking, yeah, if this feels like 2030, because I think it was 2030, you know what I mean, in the film. I don't think the background drop, in the window would look like that. But anyway, there's some mistakes in the film. There's not much okay, there's lots of mistakes in this film, but there's not much that you can see than in the first one. The first one is just not really good. But yeah, I couldn't stand the bits when if I was one of the crew, I would say, yes, I work with Kirk. Yes, he done this, because I wouldn't want the weird things going in my ear and making it bigger over time, because Khan does that sort of thing to people apparently. But yeah, so what I find interesting about this film, I really do love this film. I just feel like it's not. It's really it feels like a sequel, but at the same time it feels like a first movie, because in the first movie, the motion picture one, it was just so awful. But you feel like, yeah, okay, it's awful, but it's a Star Trek movie. Yeah, because there's lots of Star Trek movies, obviously. So I haven't seen the 2001. I haven't seen the recent ones. I just saw, the TV show one from the 1960s, and I saw the motion picture and this one. So far, it's okay. That's all I got. I feel like the music is not that well done, and the first one. I don't want to tune it to you, because not only it'll be weirdly, done, but it'll also be because of copyright claim. So, yeah. But anyway, yeah. So when I was watching it at the cinema, when I went in space, obviously, you had this whole experience, say, oh, is it going this way? Is the stars going this way? And I had this sort of, I nearly had a fit when I was watching the experience with the stars and the, motion with the Enterprise and the other ship of Khan. I don't know. But I mean, yeah. I think it was the same experience than the first one, but in the first one you didn't have that much experience with, oh, I might have a fit or I might not have a fit. But yeah, so I feel like the second one was more realistic. Well, I know it isn't realistic, but I mean, because, in 2030, the landscapes with the mountains and the sea, as you saw in the background in the beginning of the film, does not look like the 20th century, No? Okay. And these people would change ways in the the near future to come in 20. I actually don't know. But yeah, so quite weird, really weird. And if I got things wrong with this film or whatever, please tell me in the comments below, or because I might get things wrong with this review. But yeah, so what I found good about this film is everything is better than the first one. Obviously, I told you that. The acting is good. The acting is real good. Like the first one, I feel like the first one was like a flop to me, probably because it didn't have much story plot, as I said before. It did have a story plot, and it was a really good story plot, but it wasn't that good than the second one. So, but yeah, that's all I got to say about this film. About the plot, the acting. You feel like, yeah, I want to watch the rest of the Star Trek movies, because I know that loads of, if you're like a Star Trek fan or any sort of sci-fi person, you just want to watch every single bit of a box set or read books or whatever, but I just want to watch the whole entire films of it. But so far I only watched 2, and I think that's it, when you go to the cinema, because there might be a limited of films to watch at the cinema of a series, from old films, if that makes sense. So yeah, I don't know, but anyway, I feel like yeah, I feel like that's all I got, actually, because I feel like, okay, I appreciate the charm, the effects. I know the effects are absolutely stupid and crummy and horrible, but I mean, yeah, I appreciate them just because, I really do like this film, and I really like the first one. I know the first one is absolutely rubbish, but I feel like, yeah, it's like an opinion on the first one, really good, but not that good than this one, obviously. So I feel like, yeah, these two films, and it's already set in the 80s, so in those days, they didn't know how to make effects and stuff. So, yeah. And I'm gonna say yeah, June is rubbish. It's really a downgrade, you know, the 1985 one, and this film, it's not really a downgrade like the first one, but the first one is still great, and this one's still great. But that's all I got with this film and other films similar to this. I know that some films that are similar to this might be a little bit bad and not really interesting, but I mean, like, some films that are actually the same as this, really good. But I didn't know much about the Matrix and the other world that Spock, spoilers, has died and he's landed on this wonderful planet that looks like something out of, you know, Fantasia, or not Fantasia Disney one, but I mean like the Neverending Story Fantasia, or it looks something out of The Dark Crystal, because I have watched that film recently, earlier this year. So yeah, I feel like this film, obviously I didn't think much of Spock's death, obviously, because I feel like if you watch other death scenes from kid films or family films, it's like, oh my god, it's so emotional. But in this film, it's like, oh yes, rest in peace. Oh yeah, rest in peace. I really do want to die. Like, you had that sort of feeling like, yeah, he doesn't want to die, but he got that sort of feeling like, yeah, he wants to die. You know, it's like that sort of feeling. But with Mufasa or other films, that's all I got at the moment with Mufasa, because that's the only thing I got in mind. But I mean, if you pick that for example, really, really emotional, you know, another film similar to that. But in this film, it's like, yeah, okay, I want to die. Ooh, but I don't know why. I don't know why. It's just all weird. But I didn't really understand the fact why Khan was trying to put this thing going on and put it to the Enterprise. I don't know what it really was, and we didn't see much of the Klingons in this film, probably because they were dead in the first one. But yeah, I feel like, yeah, the Khan was like saying, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna kill you now, Spock, and Kirk and all the other crew. Is that alright with you? Yeah." So he does that, and I didn't know how to do it, because when you watch other films, you know, and similar to this, you know how it works. They explain it to you, not really, but you got the vibe that you know what's going to happen. You know what this all means. But if you're like me and you really love films like this, and you have no idea what it is, but you love the ending and stuff, that's good. But you need to understand what this sort of thing is. I'm not sure if it was. I doubt it's the Matrix, not Matrix, not like the film series, but Matrix like whatever is in Star Trek. Because as again, I really do love this film. I really take it in detail and stuff. But I feel like I don't know what this is. Please tell me. You know, and even if I do tell you, I don't know what it is. But even if you watch similar films like this, you know, as I said before, you would know what this is. You would know blah 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 blah. So you don't have to be told. But they're trying to tell you, yeah, this is it, and you haven't got the vibe that you know what it is. You just think, yeah, you got the vibe. Yeah, we don't know what it is, but still, it's gonna be a big explosion, and I didn't die. Is that why Spock was in this machine when he's trying to put his hand through something? I didn't really understand that, but there you go. Anyway guys, thank you very much for watching this video. Nothing else to say really about the film, because there's not much mistakes, obviously. I saw lots of mistakes, like the glasses coming off, completely coming off. You know, like if you were like this, if you're like this, and you, like, Jim had a birthday present obviously, and he was like, yeah, I'm going to talk to Carol, or whatever her name is, who works for some kind of a signaling kind of thing, and she died and she came back to life or something. I don't really understand, but I mean, like, yeah. Anyway, she was saying something, and then he took on his glasses, and the next scene he took off his glasses. You see something like that in this movie. There's a lot of those, but in the first movie you saw that, but there was even more of those in this film. But anyway, yeah, this is all I got. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you all next time. And the thing is, I haven't got much else to say about the characters and stuff, so I only watched it once. I haven't watched it 2 times or 3 times to know more. But yeah, this is all what we got. Hope you like this video, and I'll see you all next time. Bye. I will watch the Star Trek films, all the Star Trek films later on, but at the moment I haven't got anything. Well, I've got lots of things to say, but you know it. So, bye.